And welcome to the Glacially Musical Podcast. It is beer, metal, and swearing, a ghost coat brought to you by Ghost Joint Cult something fart knockers. How are we doing today? It's America Day. America. Hi.
Hi, not where's the Keefy something? Keefy
Oh yeah,
Liberty.
as always, Nick Cameron, Glacially, blah blah blah, joined by my good friend, son of Pip and the Short, Keefy Charlemane. How are we doing today, buddy?
Technically, my dad was hobbit-sized. I'm good. There are many complex, difficult feelings on this Independence Day about the country I do love, but I don't know. I don't feel too patriotic right now about everything in the country.
You know, the worst time I had in the world and feeling as a patriot was the time I went to Washington, D.C. for the first time. And that was 2018, and I walked out feeling spectacular. And ever since then, we have made progress rolling back all the terrible things that were done. And it's two steps forward, one step back. America will not be stopped by tyranny and fascism because that's what America is. We are anti tyranny and anti fascism. We will not be ruled by the minority. That's the point. Anywho, if you are joining us this week for whatever the hell we're doing, thank you very much. Here's how we do: we do a greeting, beer check, shirt check, vinyl check, and a news check in there as well. However, this week I think we are just doing a vinyl trauma dump. This week we are discussing largely my trip to Chicago. This past weekend, myself, lawyer wife, and Wunderkind went to Chicago. The child who has amazing musical taste and has been playing records for me for the past week. Because apparently, if you say, let's listen to a record and let her choose it, she is largely more willing to come and listen to a record with me. So I listened to Lana Del Rey. Did you know there is a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard today? Followed by the Smiths, Meat is Murder. And if meat is murder, I killed that chicken because I have a chicken smoking on the grill as we speak. It has been spatchcocked. Spatchcock.
A good word.
It is a great word. It sounds really dirty, but it's actually not dirty. It's really horrible. So anyway, beer check, the beer check of the week for the Glacially musical. And by the way, welcome to the show, our good finger fudger friends. We appreciate you being here. The Glacially musical beer of the week is Second Shift Brewing, Art of Neuroses. Because I'm full of them. Finger
Nick
fudge
doesn't have
four down the middle.
Nick doesn't have issues. He has subscriptions.
You know what? If you're gonna go. That's all I'm gonna say.
Go hard or go home, B. No beer for me today, although I do anticipate having a 4th of July bevy later, so I'm saving it for later. But I am going to enjoy this Trader Joe's sparkling pineapple seltzer water. No cup, no glass, no pour. Just raw dog. Cheers.
Cheers, my friend.
America.
Mm-hmm. Fudge, yeah. So, uh, shirt check. I am rocking the Steve's Hot Dogs. Side note: presently, Steve's of Steve's Hot Dogs and his former cohorts, The Urge, are presently setting up, literally speaking, under the St. Louis Arch in order to play a 4th of July show this evening right before the fireworks.
I am devastated I'm missing this. How did I not know about this? I'm so sad.
I didn't know about it
When you
till
know
right before we started.
when you know the Urge is playing next, if you find out in advance, let me know and I'll help promote it. I love that band. I know more than you, and I'm not even from there.
I'm moderately almost fond of them.
Great shirt. I didn't remember. I think they didn't have remotely one in my size, and if it's not gonna get
They
close to
they
me
did
wearing it,
have the Grill 'em all T-shirt, which I
that is
thought
cool.
is actually a pretty good T-shirt. I
Steve,
I would buy one if I didn't already have this one.
we are doing the checks out of order this week because this is a special extra chaser. Our plans were a little foobarred, but we
Sorry about that.
remain.
My wife
No, no, no.
my wife texted me at 8:30 yesterday when we were supposed to have recorded our Black Sabbath episode saying, "Do you want to go to the St. Louis City match?" She didn't say when it was. And I'm like, "Okay, when is it?" And she texts back, "I got him today." Oh, fudge.
I would just say, like, your wife is such a gem of a person that I would never. There's nothing either of you or the kid could ever do to make me mad. We miss an episode, we miss an episode. We've been
Oh,
largely, we talked about this recently, we've been largely consistent, except when I was in the hospital or when you were on vacation or I was traveling.
oh,
Like
we've
we've
and we
managed to,
and we've done episodes while we've been out of town.
we have both done them.
I,
So
I recorded one in Maryland. I mean, think about that. I was in Maryland.
I have done Glacially musical episodes in New York, New Hampshire, Boston, Connecticut, Maine, all over the globe. Not the globe, all over America. West Coast, Sacramento, Reno. We've done all the things. So, and that
We
also
care about the
means
finger fudgers just that much.
we do. We I think we established our fans are our finger fudgers. My kill button is not working today, so I know at one point I muted myself and put the fan on for a second. It's blazing hot in here, and of course it didn't. We're already off the rail. Amtrak, but
Amtrak.
it's a lot of love here. 4th of July, and you're grilling. I don't want you to over grill your chicken.
Oh, it's a 2 hour process.
Okay.
It hit the grill at about 3:20. I went and got in the shower. I even shaved for this so I would be
You look
sexy for the 18 people that are going to watch.
you look really handsome. By the way, our episode before last, Acts 2 of our Queen episodes have been among our biggest. The game episode is the most popular Queen episode so far. I am going to try to work on sharing these out a little better. I'm not quite sure.
I have got to be way better.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than just a retweet and it's more than just a share on X. I think like there's other things we could be doing to get the word out. And I'm just not, I'm on all the time for Ghost Cult. I'm a little burned out lately and I am trying to baby myself so I don't lose the
No,
passion and
I
the love.
completely get that. I've just been really burnt out on social media in general.
That's fair.
And
Super quick. Let me not forget my shirt check because it's always a source of consternation after when I forget.
that's fair.
Repping. I don't have an America shirt. I don't have a cool shirt today, but like I'm repping this classic Headbangers Ball shirt. As we discussed, we'll talk about it in the news. We talked about it last week. The archive is gone. I don't know if we want to jump right into the news. Do you have anything else you want to just loosey goosey talk about, or do you want to
Just
talk about?
I want to point out two things. One, excuse me. Sorry, that was a burp. I apologize. One, I am wearing a America shirt, if you did not realize, because I am wearing a Steve's Hot Dogs shirt. Hot dogs are the only American sausage. Or at least the most American sausage.
Is that really true? Now it's gonna work. Okay, you piece of shit.
I don't know.
Not you, the microphone.
I know. I don't know if it's true. What I
First
do
of all, hot
know,
dogs were invented in Germany. They're not American. They were brought here. Frankfurters were brought here, and the German settlers of Brooklyn popularized this.
Mhm,
And then you had
mhm,
Nathan's open, and then the originally hot
mhm,
dogs, by the way, were eaten in a hand in a with a glove
mhm, mhm,
and no bun.
mhm.
You know all this?
You ever heard of a little thing called the 1904 World's Fair?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, that's where the bun originated.
So the hot dog, as we know it, is Merkin and St. Louisan. Also, going to point out, my calyxes are getting kind of full, and it's kind of concerning. So I put in a requisition request with lawyer wife, and she looked over and went, "Uh huh." And I'm like, "Well, the only thing is, this electrical outlet that we have here, I'm worried about covering it up." And her response is, "Get an extension cord." And I'm like, "Well, the issue is the air freshener is connected." She's like, "Well, put it somewhere else." I'm like, "Well, I don't know where to put it." And her response to that was, "Just get a surge protector and connect it into the surge protector on top of the calyx under the Funko Pops." And I went, "Oh, that's a great idea." And as I look over now, she has already placed a surge protector in the calyx. So she is definitely on board with me doing this. Guess I'm going to IKEA next weekend.
Nice. Calyx it up, sir. Calyx it up.
So that way I will now have
You'll just have just enough room for all the records you just bought on vacation.
right now I have room for 1, 2, 4, So it's 200. Right now I have room for, because it's one, two, three, four to buy eight. That's 32. Right now I have room for over 1,500 of just my records. When I get the next one up, I will have room for 17, over 1,700 of my. Oh, Jesus Christ. Maybe I should slow down buying. I'm not gonna, so don't even ask.
I don't dance, don't ask me. Yeah, I don't know. Um, what in the world is going on with me? Um, I don't know. The year is half over. I'm very reflective, but I'm excited for this trauma dump. What other let's talk news. What news do you have to share, sir? You have news of your travels. Tell us about tales of Peoria, Illinois.
Well, to begin with, just for the record, I want to point out something. Officially, the Glacially Musical Podcast played in Peoria. And you can tell because I'm holding up the Paradise Casino playing cards. I did not play at the tables. We do go out to the local slotty establishments from time to time. And we are going to Vegas again this year. I have never once played at a table because on my big nights where I'm big ball and super big ball, and I like to play for 2 to 3 hours on $100 bill. You don't do that at a table. A table is $5 min, $5 raise at the lowest. And so one hand could quickly become $100, especially if you're playing Texas Hold'em. So I have never played the tables. I would love to, but I have never felt wealthy enough to do so. But yes, funny thing about going to Peoria, the lawyer wife and I had never been to this place, and one of the things we talked about in our retirement is that we're going to go, check out, go to casino hotels all around the country, because it's fun and it's exciting, and you see new things and you experience new things. So we both looked up the East Peoria Paradise Casino, and on their website it shows a nice, lovely brick building and not a boat. I'm foreshadowing. We get there and we see all the big obnoxious neon, so we know we're near it, and we pull in. And as soon as we pull in, we see the big, wonderful brick building, and behind it there is a boat. We both kind of look at each other. Why is there a? Oh no! Oh no! So the casino in Peoria was on a boat. It was on a riverboat that goes nowhere. That was awful. But Glacially Musical Podcast did in fact play in Peoria. Should have listened to one of the podcasts just to really ram it home. Can't hear you. Sorry, you're muted, good sir. Oh, sorry. So we went to Peoria. Peoria was one thing, and we stopped at this place this time because I was trying to convince lawyer wife to go on a hockey road trip with me next year to Bloomington, Illinois, which is right next to Peoria. And I thought, oh, well, if there's this really fun thing for her to do, she'll want to come with me and my good friend Jamie. She's friends with Jamie, but she's not friends with Jamie like I am. Different Jamie, not Flatsy. But yeah, after her seeing what she saw, she is not interested in going back. So I'm going to see if there's anything else for us to do up in Peoria, because I would like my wife to come on one of these road trips because I really greatly enjoy her presence. Alrighty. After that, we went up to Chicago. And here is where my wife, and if you're friends with me on Facebook, which I'm not suggesting friending me because I do not collect friends and I will only put friends people of, I will only friend people that I know. But she put on there, she is putting in her request for wife and mother of the year. Our original intention in Chicago was to go to a place called Reckless Records. Reckless Records is a very famous, metal and punk record store up in Chicago. It's a chain. I believe they got like 4 or 5 locations. I went to one downtown a number of years ago, and I didn't have any money, and I wanted to go back in a time when I had a couple of bucks where I could, buy some records. That did not happen that day, but I did buy on the train up to Chicago on that trip when I did go to Reckless. I bought a copy of Endless Floods, their second record, which is just an amazing, amazing record. If you like avant-garde, existential doom metal, they're one of those 3 track bands, 3 tracks, 40 minutes, and enjoy the crap out of it and compliment your eminent demise. So, as we pull up to where our hotel is, a little early for check-in, she notices there is a sign saying vinyl sale today. And she jokingly says, "Haha, wouldn't it be funny if that was in our hotel?" Here's where it gets awful and expensive. It was. So as we are pulling up to the hotel, as we are getting into the Crown Plaza in Burr Ridge, Illinois, that's there's a sign again on our hotel saying vinyl sale. So that's where we go. We go in, and for some reason, and she doesn't, lawyer wife doesn't listen to records with us very much. We try to encourage her coming in to listen with us by, getting records for her and going record shopping with her. And she has been around much more lately, but whenever she goes record shopping with us, she gets really excited, and that's awesome. So we get to spend way too much money, which is what brings us to today. But before we get to that, because that is the meat of the episode, my news of the week is that this past Sunday, 4 days ago, I saw for the first time the Rolling Stones, and it's not necessarily fair or unfair to say what passes for the Rolling Stones at this point. Keith and Mick are in their 80s. They have a brand new rhythm section who are American, and Ronnie Wood. You know what? Ronnie Wood's been in the band for 50 years, so we'll give Ronnie a pass. So, but it's definitely not the classic guys. We are definitely not talking about, we have routinely over the course of this podcast referenced if you think Mick Jagger's going to be out there shaking his hips at age 50, you're sorely mistaken. But at this point in time, I'm kind of wondering, is he going to be shaking his hips at age 90 out there? They don't go on the long, grueling tours anymore. They play giant stadiums. Although they are playing Branson, Missouri in an amphitheater next week. No, we are not going. And I'm okay with that. But we saw them on their second show in Chicago. They played on the Thursday, and then they played on the Sunday that we went to. We got tickets on the secondary market, and they were not horrifically expensive. They were tickets, as the wife put it to the child. These are not great seats. These are seats to say that we saw the Rolling Stones, and no more than that. So we paid $105 per seat. We were in section 428 in the end zone on the other side. So we were very far away. It was my first time going to Soldier Field. Soldier Field is a very interesting venue. It is the oldest football stadium in America. It is now celebrating their 100th anniversary. And they have re-renovated it so many times that it looks like Howl's Moving Castle at this point. Anime reference. Anybody get that? All right, it's a good reference. So, unfortunately, the set list that I had been going by was what they had done on Thursday was different than what we got. I would have rather have the Thursday set list, but they played. They played songs off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They played songs off 11 records. I don't know how many they have, but it can't be more than 30. I wouldn't think. The most songs they played off a single record was what, Keefy? What album? You're on mute, sir.
How about now?
Mm-hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
right, finally back. Sorry, I've been having technical problems. Give me
It's okay.
shelter
I
or
love
let it
talking.
bleed.
No, Hackney Diamonds.
Oh God, that
They,
sucks.
no, it does not.
No, I just don't want to hear new Rolling Stone songs that
Nobody
badly.
wants to hear it, except maybe me. Well, foreshadowing. Anyway, so they played 4 tracks off Hackney Diamonds, 3 tracks off Some Girls, 2 on Exile, 2 on Let It, 2 off Tattoo You, which I don't think anybody was clamoring for, although one of them was Start Me Up, which we all love. Start Me Up is actually funny for me because that is in KC95. There was an ad campaign, a television ad campaign, where Start Me Up was like the main thing. It was about a guy who comes home every night, and the first thing he has to do when he gets home from work is not pour a drink, not have a cigarette. It was the early 80s, but it was listen to KC95 when they play Start Me Up.
If I can interject,
Go ahead.
a quick computer machine tap 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 reveals the Rolling Stones have 31 studio albums.
So I was
13
close.
You were close. That's impressive. I wouldn't have guessed that number. 13 live albums, 28 compilation albums, 3 EPs, 122 singles, 31 box sets, 51 video albums, 2 video box
Hang
sets,
on, hang on. 31 box sets. Work that out in your brain.
2 video box sets, and 77 music videos in their career. Continue.
That's a lot of music videos for a band of their age, quite honestly. Because same with bands like Kiss and Robert Plant. Well, Kiss and what Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple. Their biggest hits, their biggest heyday was the '70s before music videos were really a thing. They existed a little, but they didn't. They were and they weren't. It was like email in 1995. Sure, it existed, but nobody used it. Anyway, so where was I? 2 off Through the Past Darkly, 2 non-album singles. One off the following Aftermath, Beggars, Between, Out of Our Heads, and Sticky Fingers. The set list was Start Me Up, Let's Spend the Night Together, Rocks Off, Angry, Shattered, which was a fan vote song. They're doing a fan vote song. I don't know Shattered. What album is that from? Do you know off the top of your head? You're muted, sir.
I don't know what album it is, but I love the song.
Okay.
Shaboogie, Shatter.
It is off of. I'm not sure. Shattered song. It's off Some Girls. Okay. Dead Flowers featuring Lainey Wilson, who was the opener. That was weird because she is like true blue country. A friend of mine likes her. My wife kind of digs her. She did not play her number one song, which I think is stupid. But you know what? When you're playing in front of 60,000 people, don't play your number one song.
Nick just calling the opening act for the Rolling Stones stupid. Amazing.
No, I called an action by the opening act of the Rolling Stones stupid. Didn't call her stupid. She's pretty and seems very nice. Whole wide world, tumbling dice. You can't always get what you want. And you know what? If there is anything more unintentionally unironic and cringy than this song, I don't know what it is. But I am here for it every time. I love this song. The fact that they made the fact that the song "You Can't Always Get What You Want" is the most opulent song they have ever recorded just shows that there was a lot of cocaine that week. Moving on. Tell Me Straight, Little TNA, Before They Make Me Run. I did not need 3 songs in a row sung by Keith Richards, but I'm guessing Mick Jagger did. Yeah. Then they come out back. Then now we bring out. So as they were doing this, lawyer wife taps me on the shoulder. Please tell me it's all hits after this. And so they come back with Sympathy for the Devil, Honky Tonk Women, Miss You, Gimme Shelter, Paint It Black, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Sweet Sounds of Heaven. Finish out the show with Satisfaction. And here's where it gets weird. We walked down to the portal when they were playing Satisfaction. As soon as they said thank you, good night, we walked out. 15 minutes later, we were literally on the highway going back to the hotel. I still don't know what witchcraft we did to make that happen. We were in a crowd of over 60,000 people.
Sometimes you just beat the crowd at the exact right time.
Well, the first thing we did was we got there at 4:45 when the parking lots opened at 5. Parked, walked a mile, got dinner, walked a mile back. So I think the fact that we got in so early really helped out. That's the big thing if you're parking in the St. Louis amphitheater. You want to, if you're going to park in their parking lot and not do the shuttle, which costs $15 a person now, worth it still. You have to get there first. If you get there first, you get to your car first and you get out first before it becomes chaos and Mad Max. If you get there 5 minutes after the show ends, it's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and good luck. Just don't even try.
Do I want to even know how bad the parking cost was? $50 at
I
least.
it was 55. I actually called it like a sack of potatoes because I looked at the wife and I'm like, yeah, parking's gonna be about 60. She's like, are you crazy? My wife has no idea how much things cost anymore. She has just everything now costs like an eighth of the cost to her in her mind. It's still 1994. It's not 1994. And I mean, it costs $30 to park for a Battlehawks game downtown in St. Louis, right? Or more. Okay. Well, think about that for a second. This is Chicago, and this is right next to the stadium. The closer you are to the stadium, the closer you are to the venue, the higher the cost price, the higher the ticket price goes, or parking price goes up. So yes, we spent $55 on parking, and it was worth it. I am totally fine with that. And of course, because they would not take cash for parking, which we had cash for, the stadium is also cash free. Thank you very much. It's either whether or not if I have cash, wherever I am is cash free, and if I have no cash, wherever I am is no cards. And I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Just do both. Come on.
Fully fair. Let's ask a couple more questions about the show. So, you seem kind of I love the end. I love that run at the end. That sounded phenomenal.
Great run.
I would love to enjoy that. You worth it, whatever you paid to go. You got to see the Rolling Stones.
We paid $104. We paid $50 each for two T-shirts and 55 to park.
I
So
was
the
about to ask about
experience.
the merch, yeah.
So lawyer wife was ready to buy a hoodie for $90. She's like, "Give me your card." Nope. Nope. And here's where it gets odd. And you know what? Let me see what you think on this, right? It was a little chilly. It was the chilliest night of the week in Chicago. It was high of 72, 62, 65 at showtime. And what I did not see coming was it was a little breezy. There was a bit of a wind.
You didn't see it becoming breezy in the windy city? Are
Did
you
not.
serious?
Did not. I did not.
Freaking serious?
I am freaking serious. I was wondering to myself the whole time, should I bring me one of these track jackets that I've got? Should I bring a track jacket? Because I knew it was going to be a colder. I'm like, it'll be fine. It'll be 70. No, it was about 60 degrees with a constant wind. So we were all kind of chilly at the show. Should have brought a jacket. Should have brought a jacket. Almost brought a jacket to the soccer match last night. However, it was 85 Fahrenheit with a humidity of about 90%. So not the same night. But interestingly enough, I will have gone to three different stadiums in the course of 6 days. In the course of 7 days, because we went to Soldier Field, City Park, and on Saturday we're going to Busch Stadium for Journey and Def Leppard.
Oh, that'll be interesting to discuss on a future pod.
Yeah.
This is going to run out of context. I want,
Oh, sorry. Was it worth what we spent? That is a fair question. It was worth what we spent. I don't feel like we got totally screwed. We were already going to be there. That's a big thing. We didn't make a special trip up there because the kid was coming back from San Francisco. We had to pick her up in Chicago. We could not pick her up in St. Louis because there is no direct flight from San Francisco to St. Louis, as you learned. So, we were already there. We just stayed an extra night in Chicago. And you know what? I'm not going to say it was a great show because they're 80. Let's call a thing what it is. There was an amazing backup singer. I did not catch her name, unfortunately, but I kind of felt like the meeting was okay. We need somebody like Tina Turner, okay, but doesn't suck. Wait, what? Yeah, picture Tina Turner in 1982. Right. Okay. Now imagine that's what sucking is. I need that, but great, and that's what this woman was. This woman was phenomenal. She made
It's a strange way to go about making an analogy. Tina Turner never sucked.
I
their
know, but
life.
what's like saying that peak Tina Turner was what
Uh,
sucking is, and then
okay,
go from there. Make
it's
that,
a
take that, and make it
be
great.
be clearer and don't punch down. It's a weird
I'm not trying
rule.
to punch down. I'm trying.
Um,
I'm punching up.
Rolling
I don't
Stones
know.
have many songs that require soulful backing singers,
Mm-hmm.
including "Gimme Shelter," right?
Yeah,
So
and
I
she was.
imagine this person did the "Gimme Shelter"
Oh
like
yeah, she went nuts on
Mary.
"Gimme
What's her
Shelter."
face? I can't remember that singer's name right now because I
I
know
don't
who
know. I
she
don't
is.
know. I don't know. But she was just staggeringly good. Like wow, because she was definitely in the Tina Turner mold, which is why I was trying to make that analogy. It's a very clumsy analogy, I know. But she was, and she definitely pulled back when it was her and Mick harmonizing. Because if she went for real, there'd be no Mick.
Mary Clayton is who I'm thinking of, who sang on
Mm.
"Gimme Shelter."
Yeah, this lady would have just crushed him if she let it go. So she really tucked it back in order for the octogenarian to get his props as well. He was also very kind. There was an he was very kind to Chicago. They talked about how they loved the music of Chicago their entire careers and their entire lives. And you know, the Rolling Stones were very big on Chicago blues and also very big on Delta blues. The night before on Thursday night's concert, they slipped in some Sweet Home Chicago. We did not get that. And that is an amazing Robert Johnson song that has been made even better by so many people. It's like when Bob Dylan writes a song and then Jimi Hendrix does it. That's Robert Johnson as well, unfortunately. He was just born at the wrong time. If he were born 30 years later, he'd have been a very different musician, but still very historical and very wonderful. And I'm glad I got to see them. You know, I obviously I never had a chance to see them during their peak. That would have been the 60s. Let's call a thing what it is. We are 50, 60 years past their prime. And you know what? They're still out there. They're still shaking their hips and they're still pointing fingers. So that's cool.
Me unmuted. Very cool. All right, it's just gonna be technical difficulties day for me. I don't know why. Great story. Glad you had a good trip. Glad it was you got to play in Peoria and see the Stones. I
It's
don't know how
actually
many more of
probably
these
it's
they're gonna do.
probably more appropriate to say we got played in Peoria.
Oh,
Because
I,
one, there was a boat and there wasn't supposed to be a boat, and two, we did not win a dollar.
well, that happens when you gamble. But
That
if you
happens.
like to
That's what
gamble,
gambling is.
baby, I'm your man. You win some, you lose some. It's all a game to me.
I'll be your gambler, baby. Lay down your bets.
Yeah.
We'll get together. Gonna make you sweat.
Hey now.
What song is that?
Can't even tell you.
Love Gun.
Is it? Oh God.
God, when you hear the words of a Kiss song, they just don't sound good.
They're just not good lyrics. They're
No,
just
never. They're never
cringy and
good.
creepy.
On a
Paul
good,
and Gene.
the good songs are cringy and
Somehow
creepy.
Shock Me and Beth are the only not cringy songs to me, but
Wait,
they're all pretty
you
good.
don't think Shock Me is cringy?
I think Shock Me is cute.
Okay, recite the chorus, please. Say the
I
chorus
don't
out
put
loud.
on your black leather. We
Yeah,
can
not
come
good.
together. I know.
That's not.
It's tame by comparison. When I saw you coming out of school that day,
Oh Jesus! Stop. We don't. No, no, no,
we
no,
all,
no,
yeah,
no.
every time.
Let's not talk about. Let's pretend that.
Um,
Let's just keep denying that that exists.
I just want to tell every dad out there. I know we missed Father's Day already. Like, if you have a daughter, your whole job in life is to make them feel loved, supported, and seen every single chance you can. Because guys like when I saw you coming out of school that day exist in the real world. Look out.
Yeah,
Like Ronnie James Dio said, look out. He was talking
m-
about bad
yeah,
dads. Look
my
out for your daughters.
my daughter. Yeah, she loves a guy that sends some pretty creepy DMs, and she recites them to me all the time.
Yeah, I was well, that's good. At least you're aware. Um, I don't know how much news I have, but I thought this was an interesting story I would share. I assume that's your whole news check. Like, there's not much else to
Yeah, I'm
talk
good. I'm
about,
good.
and we got to keep it. Unfortunately, I don't know when. I think we're gonna just run this tonight. We're just gonna run it. So we keep it also timely for your review, so people, if they're still going to see the Stones, um, the three biggest record labels in the world hate each other. Right? They constantly are like hate each other. They're at war, and they when they get together for a common purpose, it's noticeable. So Universal, Warner, and Sony, the three biggest record labels in the whole world, unilaterally, are teaming up to sue two of the biggest artificial intelligence companies as their way of taking, I'll quote the story, an aggressive stance to protect their intellectual property against technology that makes it easy for people to generate music based on existing songs. What does this mean? These two companies, Suno AI and Uncharted Labs, who you've probably seen the app Udio AI or seen it, um, make me a song in the style of Limp Bizkit as sung by Mickey Mouse, and then it doesn't.
Oh, I
So
hate
you're
those.
starting to get, well, they're prevalent now. It is not going to happen, it's happening. And so basically, so these companies can make the AI recordings of their artists and you can't. They're going to sue these two companies. So it's very interesting the way it's going. It's not necessarily like, look at them championing art and artists. Not at all. Not at all. Um, but this is, you know, also part of this lawsuit. The Recording Industry Association of America, is a trade group for record labels, is seeking damages as much as $150,000 per work infringed on, which could be billions of dollars, even for, let's say, you get a rap song with 20 producers. You know, it could be cray. It could be cray. I just think this is the way it's going. On one hand, I'm not scared of AI. I think AI it's been coming for a long time. There are going to be many great uses of it and many great things. I don't think AI can ever really replace a human element, because it's always going to get something even as intuitive and great and as advanced as it could get in the future, where see, you couldn't even tell. I can still tell. Right
I
now I
can't
feel like I
decide
can
if it's
tell.
Star Trek or Skynet. I want Star
Well,
Trek AI. I don't want Skynet.
I understand we don't want, yeah, we don't, but like also irrational fear of AI is not good either. And I think that we've already, there are little ways that we've been using a predictive text in your cell phone as AI. Um, but it's kind of weird how quick it's gone the last year, how fast. Like your search now in Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp, and Threads is all the Facebook AI. Facebook was actually against AI for the hot minute. Then they were like, oh, there's no hope. Let's just go all in. And so it's a little weird to me. So like anything you have, let's say if you're on Facebook, something you search every day, Keith's profile, Glacially Musical Podcast, ghostcoldmag.com. If you search those, I've searched those all the time. You search those all the time. Your history of Facebook will override the AI. Oh, he's looking for this thing he looks at every day. But if you search for someone or something you never have, you're now teaching the Facebook AI a new thing, or giving it more giving it more mana for its life and its intelligence. A little scary. I don't want I love Rogue One by Star Wars, probably one of the greatest Star Wars things ever done outside of the
It
original
is
trilogy.
the no, it's better than the original trilogy.
Be quiet, you.
It's the only one that is, but it is.
The Acolyte continues to get better and better. I'm one of the few people who seem to hate it. I don't know why I love it so much.
We finished episode 5 today, and I
Good.
was right about who the master was, and I did
Quiet.
my
No
touchdown
spoilers.
dance. It
No
was obvious. It
spoilers.
was
No
obvious.
spoilers.
Not
People haven't
spoiling.
watched it. People haven't watched it. So I don't want AI Carrie Fisher forever in Star Wars movies. I don't even want Skywalker movies anymore, or any Solo movies. Han Solo movies. I want Han Solo. I want new stories, old stories, different stories. But I don't want George Carlin coming back as an AI George Carlin. He would have hated that A. Prince would have hated a hologram Prince B. And I don't like these things. And we know about the failed Tupac and Dio holograms. So just if you have any thoughts on this story, I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know if they're going to win or lose. But when these three enemies of the state go join together like Voltron, it's for real, for real. They really are against this thing. So I don't know if you have any thoughts, but like I don't know.
The big thought is if you see Rockefeller and his rival, and I forget the rival's name, sitting at the same table, you know it's serious.
Was it Andrew Carnegie?
Yeah, Carnegie, that is correct. If you see Carnegie and Rockefeller teaming up on something, it's probably bad for the rest of us. However, this might be one of those times where it's not. I don't know. That's all. That's the best I can say on this. This. I hate these AI songs. AI songs are like why I don't like techno, why I don't like synth pop. It's the human element is what makes music to me. The human fingers touching the strings, touching the keys, hitting the drums. When you remove that, it becomes different. It becomes different, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Synth pop is awesome, and I like a lot of post punk and synth pop. I bet your lawyer wife does too. Actually, Gary Newman and
Oh
early
yeah,
Ministry
she
and
does.
Depeche Mode and
There's some synth I like. I like new wave.
Oingo Boingo.
I'm
Even
not,
though,
but they play instruments.
speaking of cringy, Danny Elfman is cringy as fuck.
Oh
But
yeah, they all are.
so cringy. But apparently he was great live last year when he went on tour.
When I say synth pop, I mean somebody singing over a drum beat and a synthesized melody where nobody's playing it. They just go
well,
and hit play, and then
I
they
think
sing
you
over
really
it.
mean like EDM and electronic music where they're not really
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
an instrument
yeah,
live.
yeah,
They're
yeah, yeah.
smashing a space bar. Maybe they're doing a little live mixing. Maybe they're doing a little sound effects live in the moment. Meh, meh, meh. But like, I'm not against those. I like
Look,
Daft Punk and Marshmello and
if you like that
Armin
kind
van
of music,
Buuren.
that's fine. It's just not what Nick likes.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm not saying it's bad or worthless. I'm just saying it does not please, it does not quench. To quote Lestat from Queen of the Damned, it does not quench my thirst. God, that movie was terrible, by the way.
Great soundtrack though.
Great. That's like Disturbed's finest moment. Ooh-wah!
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
No, it is. It is. It is.
Disturbed back in the studio making a new album now.
Mm. Who asked for that? Get back on Tinder.
Disturbing this move by Chancellor Palpatine.
No, come on, Draymond, get back on Tinder and write songs about that solo. I want a solo acoustic record about his time on Tinder. I'll buy that.
Let's move off of this topic quickly.
Okay, let's quickly moving. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my dump now. It's time for the dump.
We did the beer,
shirt,
out of order
news.
Today. Beer, shirt, news,
vinyl dump.
The meat of this episode is the vinyl. So
all right,
have at it. I'm gonna mute myself. You go nuts.
I'm gonna go nuts. I'm gonna be a minute.
Tell us what you got and if you can recall how much they were.
Okay, the first 5 records I'm gonna show you are $12 a piece. So the first ones I'm showing you, there was a table where they had records $15 a piece or 5 for $60. So here are the 5.
This is at the hotel you were at.
Yeah, this is at the hotel. I only got one record at the record store afterwards, and that'll be the last record I do. The Rolling Stones, at their Satanic Majesty's request. This is not a great record. Let's be very clear. They played no songs off this record at the show. I expected 0. This is their redheaded stepchild of the 60s. Let me see if you know any of these songs. Ready? Also, previous Department of Metal Antiquities podcast subject. Their Satanic Majesty's request. Sing All This Together. Citadel. In Another Land. 2,000 Man.
Yeah, I know that one because that's been covered by Ace and Kiss a bunch.
Yeah, I'm going to stop all the tracks now.
That's
where it ends.
I don't even think I think that's like the reimagined cover. That's not the original album cover, I think.
It's the original album cover, but it does not have the lint. Okay, let me grab it back. This part, the picture of them on the original cover was lenticular.
Lenticular for the 60s, which is impressive.
Yeah. This is a 70s repress, I think 77.
We will never have a time again, except for Tool, where bands are trying wacky shit with the album artwork and album covers. Like really visual and physical, tactile, graphic craziness like the Stones, Beatles, and Pink Floyd did. Yeah, yes, no, maybe so. Not like at that level.
Okay, we're talking about Tool, which I'm already angry.
Don't be angry. It's legitimate. You can't fucking even hate. Can't.
I
You're not
can.
allowed to. You're not allowed. We're doing Tool next. Forget it.
We're not.
Forget Metallica. We're doing Tool.
All right, we'll do Tool.
No, we're
Meat
doing
Nik.
Metallica.
This sucks.
I know that's why I can't do it, but I wish we could do
Also,
it.
the Led Zeppelin 3 had a wheel that you turned. So, okay, next record. Speaking of Led Zeppelin, this one, he was in the $25 bin, but he allowed me to put it into the 5 for 60 bin. Led Zeppelin 1, it is a late 70s repress, but it sounds 10 times better than my 2014 modern pressing. The difference on this one actually was kind of shocking at how much better it sounded. Moving right along, the Beatles, the Red record. I am not a big fan of the first half of the Beatles' career. The second half I find to be a lot more interesting, but this was the one I picked as my free one out of the 5, including getting, a $25 record thrown in there. Fine, worth it. Next, let me see if you've heard of this gentleman. Hopefully, some folks are going to check him out at some point in time. Jimi Hendrix Experience. Are you experienced? This is not an original press. I think this is a 1972, 1973. It is on Reprise Records, but you know what? This is an amazing record. If you don't have this, what are you even doing? And I just finally got it again. So
Yeah, I'm
what have I
surprised.
been
I
doing?
thought you had it and got rid of it, right?
No, that was Electric Ladyland, which I sold to you.
Yes, sir. Are you experienced is actually my favorite Jimmy. Anything.
It is quite good. My favorite is still. Oh, damn it. I forget the name of it. The first posthumous record is my favorite. It's got my absolute favorite Jimmy song on it, and I don't even remember the name of it
Band of
because it's so.
Gypsies?
No, no, no. That wasn't posthumous. It was nearly posthumous. That was the last official Jimi Hendrix recording of his life. This one, Lawyer Wife picked this one out. Psychedelic Furs. Mirror Moves. We have not listened to it yet, so I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Psychedelic Furs.
The,
She
the
is. We
only
have
the
seen
only
them.
the only reason to be a fan is love my way.
Oh, well, that's not
That's
what
all
I
I
would have
know.
said would have been the only reason, but whatever. We'll talk about that later, off air.
Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire, other things.
Wait, they're in Breakfast Club?
I mean, they were on everything.
Okay, fair enough. Next, this one has caused a rift in my family to determine who maintains ownership of it. What's the name of this damn thing? All right, now I know. Talking Heads, Little Creatures. So this one was 25. We got it for half off, 12.50. Everyone in my family has claimed ownership of it. However, it was my credit card, and I have other Talking Heads records, so it's mine. Now
As
we
you
are,
do.
yeah.
As you do.
Now we are getting into the Lawyer Wife records, the ones she picked out. Fleetwood Mac Mirage. As she put it, it's got Gypsy on it. Well, fair enough. Next, Journey Escape. It's got Don't Stop Believing on it. And the record, Keefy told me, you'll be so happy you bought that in 20 years.
Tool?
Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love.
Why? Why? You don't need more of these. Stop it.
I only need one more Motley Crue record and I'm done.
I didn't see any modern metal in there. No death metal, no stoner doom, nothing.
They
Cool.
didn't have any of it.
It's all ugh. But Motley Crue is like the newest record on that whole run.
So far, yes. But hear me out. This is the first vinyl pressing of the 40th anniversary edition of the record. Is that not the dumbest thing you've ever heard?
It's the dumbest thing. One of the dumbest things I've ever heard ever.
That's what the hype sticker says. Isn't that awesome? It is so fucking terrible. All right. Kansas Left Overture. This one features Carry On My Wayward Son.
I absolutely love Kansas, and I unabashedly love that album. And Kansas was the first arena rock show I ever saw Kansas opening for Rush on the
Uh,
Presto tour.
uh, hang on, I got some technical. Can you hear me? Give me.
Now I hear you better now.
All right, can you hear me now?
I
There
hear
we go.
you
I can
now.
hear myself. Sorry about that.
You'll
I
never
bumped the business.
find
I saw them a
someone who
couple of
loves
few
you if
few
you're
months
lost.
ago. Saw them a few months ago in a theater, and that is the first time I have ever been truly put off by a fan base. Because like we were the only people that hadn't seen them 48 times on that tour. So we had a couple behind us screaming a conversation the whole time, and a couple in front of us playing on their phones, set to "Bright of the Sun" High Noon. So that was a great day. Yeah, the best part of that day was the steak dinner before the show. Moving on, Miss Stevie Nicks. I don't know anything what this is or called. I don't know. Something little. Rock a little. What's on this thing? Can't wait. Rock a little. Go ahead, Lily. Sister Honey. I sing for the things. Imperial Hotel. Some become something. Talk to me. The Nightmare. If I were you. No spoken word. Has anyone ever written anything for you? That sounds like a flex, Stevie.
Jesus, I don't know. Like,
That sounds like no,
it's
that's
for
not
sure
good.
is something.
Alrighty. Here's the record. We also went to Windy City Records
I did not get there.
in which is in I forget the name of the city. It's in one of the suburbs. Nice little record shop. That is where we got the Fleetwood Mac record for Lawyer Wife. Here is what I picked up at the show at that place. Metallica in the City of Brotherly Love. This is a bootleg. If you are old enough to remember Garage Inc., there was a really cool MTV special where they played songs only from Garage Inc. So old covers, some new covers. This is not that show, I don't think. This is a radio broadcast of one of the shows they did. For our younger listeners back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and up into the 90s, there used to be radio broadcasts of concerts on Westwood One. And we have lost that. And we used to be a proper country before we lost that.
We used to
But
live in a civilization, and now we don't. We lived in a
yeah,
society.
now we don't. Now
We
we
can't
live in
have nice things.
no. Now we live in Spotify. So let me see if you've heard of any of these songs. Die Die My Darling, Blitzkrieg, The
Misfits.
Small
Okay.
Hours,
Nice.
the Prince, Sabracadabra, Stone Cold Crazy, Merciful Fate. Oh, spelled wrong. They spelled it wrong. They spelled merciful correctly.
It's a bootleg because, yeah, it's not spelled right because it's a bootleg.
Yeah, I know. Turn the page. Am I evil? So what? Killing time. The wait. Last caress. Green hell. Bread fan and overkill. The thing about this particular record is you have to turn the bass way, way up. If you turn it way,
Is
way
this a
up,
joke or are you
no,
serious?
I'm serious. This pressing it, I had to turn loudness on and turn the bass way up. And then my
Loudness, the band.
no, like
Oh, loudness, the button.
yeah, the button, the loudness button.
Warp speed, Marty.
Uh just Marty, don't turn the amp all the way up. Yeah, I saw that, Doc. I won't. And because I am that guy, I am the guy that loves you, the guy that loves your band, the guy that hopes you'll be swinging your hips and pointing fingers at age 90. I bought Hackney Diamonds. Because you know what? It occurred to me as I'm sitting in a crowd of, I think it was only 60,000, because Soldier Field is not ginormous. It is a reasonable sized venue. But it occurred to me that if everybody here at this one show on the tour, if everybody bought this record today, it'd be a hit. It would be the number one record in the world, which is awful. So I bought it.
The record is awful, or that in fact is awful.
The fact is awful. I haven't
Have
heard
you
the
listened to the
record yet.
record? Okay, let
No,
us know when you've heard it.
I haven't heard. I have not
I-
heard most of these records.
I had no motivation. Well, you definitely have heard Led Zeppelin and Metallica live, and
I hadn't heard
Rolling Stones.
that pressing of that Led
You
Zeppelin
just
record
saw
till
Stevie, right?
today.
So you might have heard some of those songs
Well, I
live.
didn't hear the record.
Okay.
These are still in the up next pile. I mean, I literally
Really?
pulled them off of the up next pile.
All right. Any more?
Nope, I am done.
You're done. That was an epic poll there, friend. So yeah, that's great. I like hearing all that.
And that's not even including the record we bought the records we bought for the kids. She got Nirvana, the Smiths, the Pixies.
Which your kid has impeccable taste. I don't understand how it in 2024 how a teen has impeccable taste in music. I don't get it, but that's which I need to know which Pixies.
I don't know, something with a thing on it. Is that helpful?
It's not helpful at all.
It was a rare UK press, they said.
Okay.
I question the term. I question the rare. Nirvana was Incesticide. If you give me a moment, I can tell you what the Pixies was.
Yeah, that's okay.
She also got a Sonic. She got Sonic Youth.
God damn.
Doolittle. It was Doolittle.
Oh yeah, Doolittle is my second favorite Pixies record. I love Pixies.
Good for you.
Yeah, good. It is good for me. They're great. Seen live, they're fucking great. Let's talk about my vinyl check. I have a rare 3 for today, and we are getting into Record Store Day Black Friday 2023. So I'm very soon.
We're only 9 months back.
We're only 9 months back. For me, that's an achievement. I haven't really bought a lot of records this year, so there's that. I wonder if I can dig out for the next series, if I can actually dig out my records for each one. I don't know. I'll probably let you do it. So let's do the first one.
I can dig mine out.
Every record store day, I have been roped into getting a live Ramones record. So Record Store Day 2023, and I already had the hype stickers, one on the outer sleeve and one on. This is Ramones Triple J live at the Wireless at the Capitol Theatre in Sydney, Australia. Triple J is the national radio station, the BBC One of Australia. So this is 1980. Listen to this set list. This is why I bought this. I'm a Ramones freak. I think people know when we started doing these, I think I had a different apartment, a different angle, and I had a Ramones flag over my bed, and you got like more of the big view of me. Just listen to if you could go see the Ramones today, go back, get in the transporter and go in a muck time and go back in time and see this concert. Blitzkrieg Bop, Teenage Lobotomy, Rockaway Beach, I Can't Make It on Time, is Me Everywhere, Gimme Shock Treatment, Rock and Roll High School, I Want to Be Sedated, Do You Remember Rock and Roll Radio, She's the One, I Just Want to Have Something to Do, Side 2, Flip the Record, Sheena is a Punk Rocker, Let's Go, Commando, Here Today, Gone Tomorrow, I'm Affected, Surfing Bird, Cretin Hop, All the Way, Judy is a Punk, California Sun, I Don't Want to Walk Around with You, Today Your Love, Tomorrow the World, and Pinhead. Holy fuck balls, this album and this set list.
Oh my God, I know 3 of those songs.
Well, that's a shame. We should probably do some Ramones at some point. In the mylar already have played this. Check this out. The classic Sire Records label reprinted and reimagined for the Record Store Day release.
That is nice. I appreciate that.
Isn't that nice? I know you would. I knew you would appreciate it. Record number 2 in my 3 for. This was like freaking $38 on Record Store Day Black Friday. I was pissed. It's
Record Store Day is you don't buy the records to play them. You buy the records to get played.
That is true.
You played yourself.
You played yourself. You played yourself. Falling. Record number 2, Record Store Day Black Friday, courtesy for free of Craft Recordings, Bless the Fall, Hollow Bodies. This is, I think, 11 years old. 10-year anniversary last year. Metalcore, post-hardcore. These are genres Nick is probably not crazy about. Your kid might be someday. Pretty solid
She
record.
will
They
not.
asked me to check it out. I didn't really. Yeah, this might no gatefold. I don't think the Ramones is a gatefold, but I've already put it down, so I'm not going to open it. But pretty good record and for free. And I checked it and did a little review of it on Ghost Cult. So huzzah, huzzah. Uh, Kind of very standard 180 gram black with the Bless the Fall logo. I did not have this record when it first came out. I might have heard it on iTunes at the time because this was the peak iPod era for me. But I don't mind getting records for free. I like it. This is pretty funny. One of the biggest bands in the world right now is Bad Omens. And one of the guys who's a editor at Ghost Cult, not Steve Tovey, but another one, was like, oh, hey, Bad Omens wants to send you a record. I was like, me? Their new vinyl? I'll take it. So I wait and I wait. It's coming from Europe. Okay, well, they're an American band. Why is it coming from Europe? It's coming from Europe. It's coming from Europe. It shows up.
Yerp.
Europe. I'm super excited. I get it. I'm like, I got a Bad Omens record on vinyl. Cool. I haven't had one. It's a different band. It's Bad Nerves. Completely different band. A punk rock band. Not the same. Not the same at all. And then that band now is like, where's the review? You should have wrote the review. The album showed up the day it came out in my mailbox, and it came like barely packed, not great to be honest, for shipping international. Sent in like literally a thing you would send an X-ray in, flimsy.
Yeah,
Flimsy.
I got a record from Germany that way once.
Yeah, sucks.
In a literal giant manila interoffice envelope, and the record
Yeah,
wasn't broken.
like a manila envelope. That being said, it's not a bad record, but I was annoyed at the packaging, and it did show up late, so now I'm behind on the review. Final check for today for me for my 3 for this was pretty cool. This was a throw in to another thing that I bought, so I'll check that in the next show. This is Hiraeth, which is kind of like a cool death metal band, an extreme metal band. This is their album Torn on Silent Pendulum Records. This came with here's the cover, beautiful artwork, back cover, very cool, kind of grayscale-y with a little hint of purple or blue. Got a nice cool lyric insert, lyrics, just lyrics, and the logo. And then this came with the paper, with the mylar, which I always appreciate. And look at this very fascinating splatter. So the front kind of looks like the album cover splatter, like the album cover as a splatter, right?
Mm-hmm,
and then the back, here's this back that is kind of like a weird, I don't know what.
Little coagulating blood there.
Little bit. But good record, nice extreme metal. It's a little punk rock, little metalcore, post-hardcore, little extreme metal. That is my 3 for, that is my check-in. By the way, just to remind everybody, because it's just sitting around here, you know, Nick and I make a big deal about these Invest in Vinyl, which is our favorite brand. These are the unopened package inner sleeve.
Yeah, my package, my inner sleeves literally fell out of the package, and I had to put them back into it.
I hate when that happens. And here's a nice bunch of outers. You can buy these at the link in the description here. And here's some loosies that also fell out of the package, which is why they got dinged up a little, but whatever.
Okay, I mean, like, serious. Look, here. I'm going to pull out Rolling Stones. It's in the outer?
Yeah.
Well, okay, not that one, because it came with a good inner.
Did it?
Yeah, it came with... Okay, that's not mine. Oh, here we go. Invest in Vinyl outer. Invest in Vinyl inner. You know, it's what I use.
Nick and I have a slightly different. I like the plain style. Nick likes the printed on style. I don't think they cost any different. I just prefer mine.
No,
but,
it's no difference. I like the ones that are square, not the ones that are rounded.
And just tell our audience as we send this home in a minute, because I think it's my turn to take us out. Why the Vine? Why the Mylars? Why the Mylars at all? Outer and inner? Why? Tell us why really quick.
The outer is by using the outer sleeves, which I have neglected for a very long time, and I'm really working on fixing getting everything in those. The outer sleeves are to protect against ring wear. Ring wear is when, if you look at the record, the sleeve has a wear in a circle where the record has gone up against it. I don't know how it works, but somehow the outer sleeves protect against that. But it also protects against scuffs, scratches, and all that business. The inner sleeves are anti-static, and 90, well, not quite that much, probably about 50 to 60% of all record pops are because of static. When you are spinning a record in a circle and having a metal needle go over it, you're creating static electricity. So when you use the mylar inner sleeves, it gets rid of that static so you don't have the pops. A good way to get rid of the pops actually is wet cleaning. I know a lot of people will try to sell you the $150 vinyl static gun, but you don't need that. A wet clean will fix it. It'll get rid of all the electricity. You put it in the mylar sleeve and it doesn't come back. Simple. So the outer sleeves protect the sleeve. The inner sleeves protect the music. So it's protection of the outer art and a protection of the inner art. Simple as that. And it costs basically 50 cents per record in order to protect in and out. And every record you buy is worth a 50-cent investment.
I think so. I agree. Long live vinyl. Long live the vinyl community. Long live us. Glacial Musical Podcast. Another good one in the books, sir. These chasers are good. Hope
Oh,
you might.
real quick, because I'm gonna forget, so I'm gonna mention this now. This is a record I'm gonna check later. It came in the mail this week. I haven't even listened to it or cleaned it yet because I'm out of water. You've got to use distilled water. I mean, the fact that you got to go buy water to clean these fucking things, I mean, that tells you what kind of bougie ass hobby this is. But this is a 1999 record that I got on CD because it had the first song I had ever heard about video games. Protoculture's on it. Sound familiar, Keefy? With previous podcast subject, Mega Ran?
Yeah, yeah. I know.
Anyway, so I
know it is.
finally got this record and it had a price. It was sent in the original shrink wrap. The records were not in there. Do not keep the records in the shrink wrap because it will warp them. But the record in 1999 was sold for $12.99. I couldn't believe that it was that cheap. A CD at that time cost 18 bucks. Crazy.
In the words of Ben Fong Torres, crazy. The cover of Rolling Stone, crazy.
Tell the band.
Tell the band. You can tell the band Annie Leibovitz is going to shoot them in L.A. on Monday, but I need you in San Francisco to finish the story tomorrow. In Fight Club, we have no names. That same guy played Jan Wenner. The same guy, the maitre d', not the maitre d', the Ricky from The Office who didn't know if you ordered pens with black ink or blue is Jan Wenner.
I never watched that.
I know
show.
you hate Fight Club. You are the
I know,
worst.
wait, are we talking about The Office now or what?
Fight Club versus Almost Famous, not The Office.
Oh, I thought we were talking about The Office. I haven't watched that either.
Yeah, I know. You don't like good actors or anybody handsomer than you. You won't watch them. It's fine.
That is not true. I watch the dude that eats history, and that guy is fucking gorgeous, and I want to go on a date with him.
All right, that's fair.
He's that handsome, and he cooks that well. I mean, come on.
Speaking of extremely good-looking Jeffrey Dean Morgan on the current season of The Boys, which you cannot watch with the child, but maybe
we started The Boys and it went weird, and we just never. I mean, it went to the area that we don't like.
Yes.
And we never went back.
In the first episode, it went to the area you don't like. I get it.
I was told that it goes away from that and stays away, but it's just. But I mean, honestly, with all the awfulness that's been going on for the past 8 years in my life, in America, we have really strayed away.
You got to draw a line.
We've just really strayed away from serious things, and it's been largely just fun shit. Like The Acolyte. The Acolyte's been fun, and I love that Manny Jacinto is in The Acolyte.
I don't know
Manny Jacinto.
what he's from, but
he was in The Office, or not The Office, The Good Place. Have you ever watched The Good Place?
Not even once.
Oh, The Good Place is amazing.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Is anything else? Do we have anything else this week?
I'm done. I'm shutting the hell up.
All right, I guess it's my turn to take us home. You have been listening to the Glacially Musical Podcast, a ghost cult joint. That is the first time I ever said those words. Nick, it's always a pleasure. I'm glad we got to get one in under the radar, under the wire this week. Thanks We might have another chaser before we start our next series on Metallica. We might not. I don't know. But we're hit fishing. If you are still listening, you are a real one. If you've enjoyed this, please, the best thing you can do to help us, first of all, make sure you are liked and subscribed and ding that notification bell so you find out every time we
Hit that bell, boy.
hit that bell. But also share with a friend, share with your music loving friends, share with your vinyl loving friends. We do all kinds of stuff here. And yeah, that's the story here. The Glacially musical podcast, which you have been listening to, does not play in Peoria. Nick did just this past weekend. I have never been, but perhaps someday I will, because I would like to go to Full Terror Metal Assault Open Air Festival, which is in Southern Illinois, and Peoria is on the way. Either way,
No, it is not.
No, damn.
No, Peoria's in middle. My God, you're as bad as my wife. She was asking me, "Where's Joliet? Can we go to Joliet before Peoria?" No. Joliet is 30 minutes outside of Chicago.
All right.
Peoria is 3 hours outside of Chicago. Anyway, sorry. It was a steakhouse. She wanted to take me to a steakhouse.
Do I look like I know a map or how to drive or anything?
But she's driven it 50 times. She should know.
Okay. See you next time, folks. Peace.